You can't challenge holding.
You couldn't challenge holding either. So either one of the penalties can't be challenged. So I'm not sure what the basis would be.
Well,
I think
you could challenge scoring plays.
All the officials are meeting in the middle of the field to discuss this thing. Now, there's a holding in the end zone. We have that one down. That's one. And then here's Gatto just throwing the ball out of the end zone. That is intentional grounding. Where were they thinking maybe the only thing you can even think about is, was he in the grasp in the end zone? But that
would matter.
Anyway.
Then it's a safety anyway.
Anyway.
They've broken the huddle. And now he's going to come over and talk to Mike Sherman.
The officials broke the huddle when they're at the line of scrimmage.
I think they're going to tell him you're going to lose this 3 ways. So
do you want to give up a timeout on this? Because you can't challenge. First of all, he's going to tell him you can't challenge any of it.
You certainly can't put that on Samkin Gatto not trying to do something cute in the end zone. That was just a play where he had no chance to get out.
That was heads up.
I really was. If he gets away with it, they have the ball on the 1. Unfortunately, if the Lions jumped on it, they'd have the ball on the 1-yard line. Another mini huddle. Dick Duran's got to be wondering, they're over on that Green Bay Packers sideline huddling. Okay, now we're going to go over the other side, and let's go visit with Coach Duran just to make him feel like he's not left out.
Yo, boys, there's a semi-freeze here. Yo.
The runner who threw the ball was out of the pocket. At that time, he was a passer, and he had a pass that got to the line of scrimmage while he's out of the pocket. That's a legal pass. However, there was a holding by number 65, half the distance to the goal. There was no safety. They retained possession.
Well, now, how about that? Now, what the ruling is, here's the difference. The holding call was ruled not to be in the end zone. So if the holding does not occur in the end zone, it's not an automatic safety. How about that? And Dick Duran is going to go crazy. Mark Tauscher is the right tackle.
Mark Tauscher is holding in the end zone, folks.
I think he's pinned him in the end zone.
Yeah, I'm telling you, now if I were Detroit, now if you're going to call that, I would throw a flag.
Now here's the question. I don't believe, if you're Dick Duran, that you can challenge a penalty.
Second down.
Wow. That is unbelievable.
What a smart move by Mike Sherman. Great knowledge of knowing that he's out of the tackle box, or he's out of what's considered the pocket. Therefore, if he throws the ball forward, it's considered a pass. How do you determine whether a running back is throwing the ball or fumbling the ball if the ball goes forward, guys?
It's intent. If the ball goes forward, it is going to be ruled a forward pass and not a fumble if that's your intention.
So anytime you're behind the line of scrimmage and you look like you're going to get tackled, you just throw the ball forward. It's an incomplete pass.
That's correct.
Okay. That ought to send him back to the booth this summer. Mike Pereira and his guys are going to figure this one out.
Yeah, this might appear before the competition committee somewhere.
I'll tell you, a great call by the defense. They declined the penalty.
And they did, and there is no challenge charged to Green Bay or to the Lions. Now Gatto will get out near the 4-yard line. What a bizarre sequence.
I'm telling you, there was holding. Tauscher was holding in the end zone.
Well, Paul, let's look at it this way. The ball was on the half-yard line. That means the offensive linemen are lined up in the end zone. So there's no way that it was, and obviously we saw by the pictures, there was no way that he was on the other side of the goal line.
Well, it's a huge break for Green Bay, at least temporarily. It would have been 2 points, and they would have had to give the ball up on the free kick. Far from the end zone. Still can't find anybody. Now goes to his tight end in the flat, and the Packers are going to get a first down. Holy cow.
You want to know why he's the greatest? This ball was a play-action pass to be thrown deep. Favre saw the double coverage on the outside. He sat there in his own end zone. Watch him sit in this end zone. You talk about patience and guts. He sits there. He's going to throw deep. He can't. There's double coverage. So what does he do? Let me just come back to the other side, and I'll throw it to Martin. Pick up the first down.
Boy, that's huge. Gets Green Bay out of the shadow of their own goalpost. Now Gatto off the left side. Nice cut. Gets him 5 more yards. The ball comes out, but he was down.
What a great cut this one is. That's the thing you look for in running back. How fast can a running back change direction and keep going? We've seen LaDainian Tomlinson do it so often. Now, is he on the ground, or is this going to be a fumble? You have to check his right knee.
Oh, that's fumble.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You can't challenge that.
If he's called down by contact, it can't be challenged, even though it's recovered by Green Bay.
That could have been a fumble.
That ball was coming out.
But you're right. Once the down by contact ruling is made, the play's over. Gatto again. Sam Khan had fumbled 3 times in 4 games, so that had been a problem for him. And he has just broken John Brockington's rookie record as a running back. Sam Khan Gatto with a tremendous performance.
7 yards a carry, this guy.
Not bad.
Wow.
These 2 drives have eaten up an enormous amount of time. We're down to 4:10 left in the game. Gatto on the draw. Not much. Gets it across to 30. Check in with Susan.
A night to remember for Sam Khan Gatto, who credits running back coach Edgar Bennett for all the success. He said not only is he his coach, they've become friends, and it's so much more than X and O. Edgar Bennett took him under his wing. He's really been more of a mentor than anything, has accommodated his deficiencies, he said. All his confidence has come from him, and now he's got the rookie record for this Packer organization to show for it.
Boy, you got to be happy for this kid. He's one of the nicest young men I've ever met.
He's got to come out and practice a Lambeau leap, though. He didn't do it.
Huge play here for the Packers, and Brett Favre.
Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty is still 3rd down.
Jumps right in the face of his rookie right guard, William Whitaker, and Favre was so upset with that mistake. On a huge play, 3rd and 7 late in the game.
We watch Favre here now. Look, he gets right. You know, you cannot make mistakes this late in the game. You can't make mistakes anytime in the game.
Well, you have to think of the last time he yelled at a guard on this team.
Long time. Favre's sideline, is it a catch or not? It is. Ferguson.
No, they're waving it off. This is a job of officials working together.
The headlinesman came over and ruled it a catch. 2 others came in and said no.
They said that the ball hit the ground before he made the catch.
The ball hit the ground during the catch. Or non-catch.
So the Packers will have to kick it away.
Yep, good call by the official.
And the Lions should have good field position.
Oh, great kick.
McQuarter's driven all the way back to the 24. And the Detroit Lions will have 3 minutes and 7 seconds to try to win this game in regulation.
I have to show you a big bluff today, very big.
I'm all in. One thing you need before you're going to pull off a bluff is actually a horrible hand.
I'm all in, that's all I'm telling you.
The hard thing to do to sit there with absolutely nothing in your hand and put literally every single chip that you have to the test.
You really need to just convince yourself that you have it.
I can't call it. Nice hand.
I was on the draw.
Okay, so tips that someone might be bluffing.
You say something funny and the guy kind of goes,
When they put the chips in and then afraid to look at you and look some other way.
The other one is their neck. you can sort of, sense breathing patterns. And, based on somebody's breathing,
Clock is 8.
chances are he's bluffing.
Good bluff.
Back in Green Bay with 3 minutes and 7 seconds to go in the game. This is a place the Lions haven't won since 1991. Dick Duron, the interim head coach of the Detroit Lions, trying to pull it off tonight.
First thing he did when he took over as the head coach in an interim base was change a lot of the practice thing. He just wanted to change the environment. He felt like they weren't winning, they weren't doing things properly in his mind, and wanted to create a difference. And it looks like he has.
From the 32, Garcia trying to engineer a drive and throw it right into the hands of Williams. Had a slant. He might have taken that one all the way.
Boy, I'll tell you, he was going full speed when this ball hit him in the hands, and I don't know if anybody was going to stop him. This is the perfect pass. Hits him right in the gut with this ball. Watch this. If he catches it, he's full speed.
He takes his eyes off it. If you watch his head, just before the ball gets to his hands, he turns his head upfield to look for the defender.
That is 31 dropped passes for the Lions this year, second worst in the NFL. Bryson trying to get to the outside, and he's whacked as he got to the corner. Mike Hawkins, a rookie corner out of Oklahoma, came up to hit him.
I hate to harp on it, but this goes back to what Dick Duron said about this football team being able to finish. It's one of those plays where you have to make plays at clutch times. His head just comes up before he has a chance to get a hold of the ball.
That's a pass you have to catch and a pass you have to turn into points. Third and long. Incomplete. Intended for Charles Rogers, the seldom used former #1 draft choice.
Charles Rogers had to be 12 feet tall in order to bring that ball down.
Well, now you're back in a situation where the Green Bay Packers have been in most of the season. Almost every one of their last 8 games has gone down to the 2-minute drill. And here they are again with an opportunity to be able to do something at the end of a ball game.
Joe, there's only one guy I know in the National Football League I don't want to give the ball back with 2 minutes left to go, and that's Favre.
What a move not to make a fair catch, and what courage. 9-yard return after a 35-yard punt. Antonio Chapman defying the odds to make that catch. Who won our Sunday stud? Was it Bledsoe, Brady, Rudy Johnson, Terry Glenn, Marvin Harrison, all of whom had outstanding performances during the day? How did you vote on ESPN and NFL.com? 52% for Drew Bledsoe. And I tell you what, the guy can still throw the football. He made a couple of magnificent throws today.
And Terry Glenn had a great game today. What a big win that was for the Dallas Cowboys over the Chiefs today in Dallas.
Brett Favre once told us something that stuck with all of us. The only thing you have to do in a 2-minute drill is move the chains.
Or throw real deep for a touchdown.
That one is incomplete. Tried to hit Chapman in between the corner and the safety and just missed him.
Gosh, I love that call. You know you're going to have to throw the ball anyway, and you've got Brett Favre. What a great call by Tom Rossley. And Brett knows that he missed Antonio Chapman. Now, Antonio Chapman took a real pop on the last punt return, but I still don't think if he had been fresh just coming out after warm-ups, he'd have been able to catch up with that one. That'll back up the secondary a little bit.
Tell you what, it'll open up that middle also.
Favre under pressure, and down he goes. Big Daddy came right up the middle. Sean Rogers beside Wilkinson grabbed him by the back of the jersey and spun him down. Is there magic left in Favre on 3rd and 16?
boxer prepares, he's only thinking of success. He's only thinking of destruction. But to conquer, he must obliterate the hopes of his opponent and be the only man standing. Fight Night, only on ESPN.
Hope you'll stay tuned for SportsCenter. Coming up next, George Scott and John Anderson. Brett Favre on his future with Susie Culver. AFC and NFC playoff preview and Boomer's plays of the week.
Boy, some people took steps back. How about the Miami Dolphins going out to San Diego and beating them out there? And this is the big play right here. The middle of the football field might be an option. Matter of fact, I think it's the only option.
3rd and 16. And Favre has to save his own life at the 38-yard line.
All right, punt it away. You put your defense out there. You don't make a mistake. And I think Brett, if he had gotten outside, would have liked his receivers to break up, somebody to break up field.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't have much time because the pressure's on. He had to move in the pocket. And then again, there was nobody open downfield, so he did the smart thing.
He had no intention of throwing that out of the pocket. He was going to scramble around and give his guys a chance to get 16, 17 yards downfield. Well, anytime you're rushing guys out on a punt team, you better be careful.
Clock is running, 1:11 to go. Poor kick, McQuarters on the first bounce, and he's taken down at the 29-yard line with 1:02 to go. We'll check the marker.
Why did Detroit let the clock run?
During the return,
I don't know.
illegal block on the back on the receiving team, number 49. 10-yard penalty. They keep the ball. First down.
It ran forever, and they lost a lot of time. Now it's down to 1:02. The penalty will back them up even more.
All right, Paul, I got a question for you.
Yep.
Do you run
the answer.
Do you run the clock out and play for overtime because you're backed up on your own 20? Or do you try and throw the ball and make some plays and get into Hanson's field goal range?
I moved the ball down the field. I mean, I've only won 4 games, and you know, just let's go for it. Let's move the ball in a position where you can kick a field goal. You've got an outstanding field goal kicker. I don't think Garcia ran out jumping up and down like that if he was going to just hand the ball off. Let her fly. Let it fly.
1:02 to go.
I don't agree.
I know you don't.
I don't agree with you.
Garcia may be changing the play. Toss to Pinner. Nowhere to go. Run out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Wrong again.
Lions offense did pretty well in the first half, but the second half they have absolutely nothing. A punt, gave the ball over on downs at the goal line, and another punt. Of course, you could have put about 75 yards on there if Roy Williams had hung on to a pass. He would have run forever.
Well, that 11-play drive and all the yardage, they were down on the 1-yard line, actually inside the one that went for it on 4th down and didn't make it.
And the Lions are going to be very conservative about this. Pinner again, he'll have a first down just across the 30, and the clock continues to run.
I think this is the smart move by the Detroit Lions. You're backed up too far with not enough time to be able to get it done.
Now they call a timeout with 44 seconds to go in the ballgame. We'll be back to Green Bay in a moment.
When a boxer prepares, he's only thinking of success. He's only thinking of destruction. But to conquer, he must obliterate the hopes of his opponent and be the only man standing. Fight Night, only on ESPN.
Back in Green Bay, only 45 seconds to go in the ballgame. Jason Hanson hoping for an opportunity. He has missed 1 field goal in his career in Green Bay.
Here's Hansen in the pregame. I mean, he's got a great leg. 53 yards in pregame. Now, again, that's in pregame now. There's nobody rushing you. And you haven't been freezing for 4 hours either.
Garcia under pressure, throws to the sideline, incomplete, intended for Scotty Vines, but wide of him.
Well, I've got a. This sort of amazes me sometimes. I mean, why didn't you come out if you want to try and move the ball? You got it on 20. Why didn't you try and move the ball, throwing it in the beginning instead of running basically 20 seconds off the clock, 25 seconds off the clock, and giving yourself some time, saved your timeout with some pass plays instead of looking like you want to run the clock out and then trying to throw it?
I said to go for it earlier, but I was 2 plays late, or 2 plays too early.
Well, you also have to question the plays they ran at the goal line when they didn't get a touchdown. Garcia short set, throws incomplete. Williams couldn't hang on, and Carroll with tremendous coverage from the corner.
Well,
and Garcia's really upset.
I'm sorry, Michael, but that was outstanding coverage.
I'm on Carroll's giving away 5 inches, but he's right in Roy Williams' hip pocket and makes it difficult for him to make the play.
Boy, he had him wrapped up pretty good. I'm surprised they didn't throw a flag.
Hey, Jeff Garcia is really throwing the ball well.
Yes,
too.
he is.
Now, I'm going to tell you what you do here. You got 3rd down and a lot. Green Bay still has 3 timeouts.
Draw play, Bryson. And they won't have to use one because Bryson runs out of bounds. Boy, is this mismanagement. These are just big mistakes by players.
Well, what it is I'm not sure whether it's mistakes by players or the players not understanding what the coach is asking for. In other words, everybody should know you're either going to run the clock out or you're going to make them use a timeout and stay in bounds. I mean, is it coaching? Is it players not knowing? Don't know the answers in Detroit. It's like one big question mark there.
Chapman makes the fair catch signal at the 26-yard line with 25 seconds left to go in the ball game. Go back to Brett Favre's first playoff win. It was against the Detroit Lions in 1993, a wild card game. And Brett Favre, at his best, scrambles, then throws back across his body to Sterling Sharp. A 40-yard touchdown. The ball must have gone 70 to give the Packers a 28-24 win. And if it hadn't been born before, a legend was born in that game.
Well, the legend gets a chance to even add to it right here.
Well, and he throws this one away.
Well, the defense has to be offside because the play continued.
Illegal shift on the offense. 2 men moving and didn't get set for 1 second before the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
See, here I think you can take if you want to do something, if you're the Packers, I think you can take a chance throwing the ball down the field deep. With only 20 seconds to go, they have 1 timeout. I think you can take a chance if you wanted to put it up deep.
Lions have 2 safeties very deep. Favre goes underneath to Martin.
Now everybody lets the clock run out.
And Mike Sherman wants a timeout with 9 seconds left.
Well, this is where you throw the ball and hope for a pass interference call is what you're looking for. Because there can't be any other reason why he would take a timeout.
And you waited long enough to get your timeout called.
Well, Brett has the strongest arm.
No, it's not that strong.
I can remember seeing, but the line of scrimmage is the 23.
He's going to drop back to probably the 15.
And now he's going to need a running start for this one.
No, even a running start. They could bring out the jug machine and set him up back there, and it's not going to go 85 yards.
No, the only thing they're really looking for is a pass interference penalty. I think. I mean, I just don't understand what else he would be looking at. If they take a timeout and run a draw play.
I think you kneel down and you go to overtime. And your defense has played very well. The Green Bay Packer defense, other than the first 3 series where they had their backs against the wall, have not really given Detroit much. Conversely, Detroit hasn't really given up much to the Packers either.
Ten seconds to go in the half.
Here it comes.
Threw it as far as he could, and now it's picked off.
Well, you got to score with it because
Dre Bly with the lateral. And the Lions get it back to the 34-yard line. Well, Brett threw it as far as he could.
That was a bizarre sequence by both teams at the end there.
Wasn't it, though?
Yeah, I mean, it's you had a lot more bad things could have happened with some of the calls that were made than good things. Now, Brett just lines up, steps up, buys the time, and then lets you know that he can throw the ball a country mile. And then Dre Bly goes up, who's had a heck of a year. I mean, just a darn good year. Now we turn it into a little bit of street ball and try and make something happen. Watch him load this thing. Yo! Goodbye.
You see him kick that left foot out?
Yeah, and then puts the wiggle back pedal on it.
The bad thing for Favre, this will go as his 22nd interception. You can't hang that one on him.
Mike Carey lost his coin. He's got to borrow a coin. Look, he does.
It froze to his pocket.
He's got to borrow a coin. Look,
all right, anybody got a dime? All right, who has a dime? Anybody got a dime?
He lost his coin. Hey, do me a favor. Go get me a quarter, will you? Mike? All right, here it is. Check this out. Pick a number between 1 and 10. They're asking the ball boy for some change.
Son, change for a quarter.
Anybody?
Does anybody have a
dime?
Anybody have any change? All right, here we go.
Hey.
Way to go, Mike.
I always keep a spare quarter.
This is cool.
Pay you back after the game.
Oh, this is priceless.
Oh, help me.
It's Canadian.
To break the tie, there'll be 1 sudden death overtime period. Each team will have 2 timeouts, and fourth quarter rules will apply. Instant replay will be in charge of the replay official in the booth. What's your call? What's your heads or tails? Heads or tails? Heads. Oh, they hit the ground. That's a tail. Tails. Green Bay's won the toss. They'll receive. Okay, flip around.
Let's go to overtime at Lambeau. Free football from Lambeau Field. The Lions and the Packers tied at 13. Green Bay will get the ball first.
How about an onside kick? Oh, wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool.
Brett's record in overtime, 5-4.
Antonio Chapman, the deep man, waiting at about the 6. Hard to get him deep on a night like this, but a good kick by Hansen drives him back to the 3. Chapman just tripped up, got it all the way back to the 35-yard line.
Well, this has been a field position game all night between Detroit and Green Bay. The kickers have been very important, and they've delivered in most instances. But this is really where Brett Favre, I think, has made his mark. I also think this is where he misses an Amon Green, who's been an excellent receiver out of the backfield, and a Javon Walker, who's made big plays.
Or a Bubba Franks, who's out just tonight, but he's out. Tough to operate no matter how good you are without the people to complement your great talent. Right now, he doesn't have them. Favre on that roll, turns and throws. Oh. Driver got a hand on it, couldn't hold it. Great effort by Donald Driver.
You know, Donald Driver, when he runs this pattern, he started to come back towards Brett Favre because he saw Favre in trouble. And if he just goes deep, you see where he leveled it off. If he'd have gone deep the whole time, watch, he'll level it off right here. And then he comes back, then he goes deep. That one step, he has a reception during field goal range.
That's another one that was close for Brett.
Gatto on the toss. He's already had an enormous night. Picks up 3 here.
The big thing for Samken Gatto here is to be able to protect the ball. You mentioned it earlier, protect the ball. You mentioned it earlier, Mike. In the last 4 games, he's put the ball on the ground 3 times, so he's got to be conscious of protecting it.
Be another 3rd and long.
Somebody better cover William Henderson, number 33.
He's been big on 3rd downs. And there are the numbers on Gatto.
He always is.
Sure.
Donald Driver's in the slot. He'd be the guy that I would think that Brett would try and get the ball to.
4-man rush, dumps it off to Henderson, 1-on-1. Henderson trying for the 1st down, and he got it.
Well, you know, he's been doing it for years to this guy, and William Henderson has got tremendous hands, but it's what he does with the ball after he catches the ball. He knows where the 1st down marker is. When Henderson sets up, Favre just dumps it out. Now watch this. Stiff arm, that's another 4 yards and a 1st down.
William Henderson has carried the ball 1 time, and he has 24 receptions.
Yeah, that's right.
That ought to tell you something.
He knows how to play this game. Leach is in at fullback. Gatto trying to get to the outside. Very patient run. Samken Gatto just showed you.
And there's 15 more
why
yards.
He's so smart, and there's a 15-yard personal foul penalty on Sean Rogers. How can he make that mistake in overtime?
Sean Rogers picked up, or looked like he picked up, Samken Gatto and just threw him back towards the bench.
After the player was out of bounds, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 92. From the end of the run, 15 yards, automatic, 1st down.
First of all, this is an outstanding run by Samken Gatto. Now watch this. Outside, what's number 92? You think he's strong? He picks him up and just throws him into the bench. The last time I ever saw anybody pick up a back and throw him was Reggie White, when he picked up a back and threw him into quarterback. That is stupid.
That's just dumb. You can't make a play like that.
Not just in overtime, in any time in the ball game, you are aware of where you are.
These are the mistakes that even outstanding players on losing teams make. This is why one of them is 4-8, and the other one is 2-10. Well, they make too many mistakes.
This is what happens when you have undisciplined football players.
Yes, sir.
This is what I think. I go back again to what Jaron said. Learning how to win. Those kind of mistakes do not allow you to win football games. You can't take personal fouls in an overtime period when a team has a chance to drive the ball.
So the Packers are down at the 35. Gatto, nothing. May have lost a half yard. Right now, they're looking at a 52, 53-yard field goal try. They got to get closer than this.
Here's Ryan Longwell in the pregame. Now look at this. 48 yards was his best, and it's also right down the pipe. So at that time there was no wind, and there's no wind on the field now. So, you know, you got to get him to the 30. Yeah, well, yeah, to be realistic, get him inside the 30-yard line.
2nd and 10 for Green Bay. Complete to the sideline. That'll get him in field goal territory. A strike to Robert Ferguson, who was wide open.
Nice job of protection, too, by that offensive line. You don't think that Brett Favre loves this moment? He's all pumped up. Wonderful route. Robert Ferguson makes the break, does an excellent job against the zone that Detroit tried to throw up. And there he is. Brett's loving every minute of this. Boy, here we go.
Joe, he is not normally the guy that throws the ball a lot before guys start to make their breaks. That was a perfect pass.
But he just showed you he can.
Yes, sir. Gatto. Room to run on the right side.
And son, if you've ever done anything in your life and you want to stay in professional football, hold on to that ball.
Well, this is where they've got those three big guys, Paulie. William Whitaker on the right side, Mark Tauscher, and Kevin Berry at the end. Number 71. Everything where the Packers are now was all set up by the penalty by Shawn Rogers.
And, you know, if he were being held, Shawn Rogers, there is absolutely no excuse for what he did. But if someone had taken a shot at him, you know, you might even think about it. But no, but he's making a tackle, and he's out of bounds. He can see the guys on his own bench.
You don't even think of it.
No, you don't. You're absolutely right. That is dumb.
Second down, the Packers just trying to wear down the Lions, get better and better position. They're down to the 10.
Mike, you kick that thing now. You kick it on third down, and I'll tell you why. Because if you make some kind of mistake, you've got another down. If they muff the snap,
I don't agree with that.
I know you don't.
No, I think you run it in, put it right in the middle of the football field.
You think it means that much along? Well, it's about as far close to the middle as you're going to get, and you got third down.
Hey, maybe you pick up a first down here. I think you put it in the middle of the football field for him. Make it as easy as possible.
Well, it's not like the hash marks make a whole lot of difference in the NFL, is it?
Well, I don't know. Having never done that.
Gatto off the right side. He gets just inside the 10. They need to make the 8 for the first down. So here comes Ryan Longwell with a chance to win it.
The only reason I say that, do it on third down, because you're about as far as you're going to go anyway. And if for some reason or other you had a bad snap, you have another down.
Well, if it was cold, I would agree with you, but it's so nice tonight.
I'll tell you, I don't get cold, Mike. The only thing that happens to me, my nose runs a little bit.
It's gained 1,200 yards by itself tonight. 28-yard field goal try by Ryan Longwell.
This is to me interesting. You're gonna ice the guy who's been standing around since 7:30.